5th, 2017. This time, please help me in welcoming Reverend Michael L. Reed, pastor of Holy Angels Evangelical Lutheran Church in Wilmerding, who will give us the invocation.
Brothers and sisters, we've gathered here now to ask God's blessing as we set apart this place for the Westinghouse Arts Academy. The Lord be with you. We give you thanks, O God, creator of the universe, for you laid the foundation of the earth, you determined its measurements, and you stretched the line upon it. When the morning stars sang together and the heavenly beings shouted for joy, you fill the world with your presence. All of the earth is your holy grounds. We bless you now for the good things of your creation that will be shaped into this Westinghouse Arts Academy, and especially today for this place. We set apart now for this school. You spin the stars around the heavens. You are the dwelling place of light. Make this to be a place where your glory dwells. You give birth to the rain. Your waters break forth in the desert. May your gracious blessing descend like dew from heaven upon all that you gather here in this place. We praise you now for the joy of the beginning of this work in your name, and for all whose gifts and labor have prepared for this day. May we soon celebrate in this new school, and in time to come, give you great thanks. We ask this through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Reed. Part of our mission here at the school is to create partnerships to create educational opportunities for our students. The partnership that we are currently working on is with the Community College of Allegheny County in providing students with dual enrollment. It is with great pleasure that I invite to the podium, actually be standing right in front of us, the president of CCAC Boyce Campus and a member of the Allegheny Council, Dr. Charles Martoni.
You saw me struggling getting up, so forgive me for that. Is this on? Yeah. Could you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you. I have the honor of welcoming you here today. You can't hear me.
I think you need more closer to your mouth. Yeah.
Hold it close.
I got to hold it closer. How's that?
That's good.
I learned slow, so forgive me. I want to welcome you here. What a great thing you're doing here in Wilmerding to have this talking about dance, digital arts, literary arts, music, studio arts, and theater. That's what makes our civilization what it is, okay? That's a wonderful thing. I don't have anything to say except welcome. Thank you for having me here, and good luck in this thing. You guys should be blessed because you're doing this, so thank you.
Today we bring new life to a school building that has been closed for several years. We symbolize this new life by planting 6 azalea bushes by 6 organizations that represent involvement in this project, as well as the 6 disciplines the school represents: music, theater, dance, digital arts, visual arts, and literary arts. Every school has a board of directors. This board did not have a school when they took a leap of faith in trusting many people who assured them that there would be a school. So it gives me great joy in introducing the Westinghouse Arts Academy Board Treasurer, as well as President of Allegheny Petroleum Products, located here in Wilmerding, Barbara Kudis.
Hi, everyone. I'm happy to be here today representing the Westinghouse Arts Academy Board of Trustees as the Board Treasurer. On behalf of the board, I would like to thank all of the individuals and organizations who have contributed contributed to getting this project off the ground. We would never be here breaking ground today for the new Westinghouse Arts Academy without the collaborative efforts of everyone involved to this point, including the East Allegheny School District, RPA Holdings, and the Allegheny Foundation, whose financial support has been monumental in getting this project to where it is today. I have a good feeling that the collaborative nature of this process thus far is a sign of good things to come. We look forward to finding new ways to work with and continue collaboration with the East Allegheny School District and the community of Wilmerding for the betterment of the whole community. I'm not only here to represent the Board of Directors for the school, but I'm also here as a business owner in the community. Allegheny Petroleum has been headquartered in Wilmerding for over 25 years, and we have always been big supporters of the Wilmerding YMCA, the Wilmerding Fire Department, and any other activities going on in the community. We have a number of employees who are residents in Wilmerding and many in the surrounding areas. We are excited to see growth in the community and look forward to the opportunities that this school will bring to Wilmerding, the surrounding areas, and the residents who live in these areas. Thanks again, everyone. I'm happy to be here today.
Thank you, Barbara. Every charter school has a home school district that must approve the charter. In most cases, the home school district doesn't approve the charter, which requires the charter school to go to the state, file an appeal, and it takes sometimes a year, 2 years to get everything in order. The charter approval was done here in a timely fashion as the East Allegheny School District approved the charter in February. We first began meeting with our board before the charter was even written. Ideas from both sides began flowing as to what we could do to provide students a better education. The rest is history, as this historic collaboration evolved in what will prove to benefit our most important product, the student. It gives me great pleasure to introduce a man who also likes to think out of the box, the superintendent of the East Allegheny School District, Mr. Don McMahon.
Thank you. Before I begin, I'd like to introduce a few people, beginning with our school board members present. Our school board president, Mrs. Jerry McKella. Fellow school director, Mrs. Lisa Green. Fellow school director, Mr. Stephen Volpe. I'd also like to acknowledge the presence of Mrs. Tony Valicenti, Director of Fiscal Affairs, and Dan Weissler, School Solicitor. To begin, I'd like to thank Amy and Sal for the privilege to be part of this ceremony. The East Allegheny School District, in cooperation with the Westinghouse School for the Arts, have already established cooperative measures and communication with the common goal of providing all students with guidance. Guidance that will permit our youth to understand the responsibilities they have concerning the elimination or the implementation of those factors which will allow them to flourish in the future. 30 years ago, I myself received this form of guidance. I remember being a 17-year-old young man about to graduate, asking myself, where am I going to go? What am I going to do? What's next? There was an older gentleman in my community named Samuel Valicenti, well over 90, talked in a broken English. He would always say to me, I'm from the older country. He never attended school. I remember him asking me one day about that time, Younger McFan, what are you going to do now? What are you going to do now? I had no clue. I needed guidance. I remember him saying this, most importantly, I don't know what you're going to do, but I know what you're never going to do. And that's when he said these things to me that I remember to this day. He said, no matter where you go in this great big world, you will never do anything to embarrass your family. You will never do anything to embarrass your community. And you'll never do anything to embarrass your friends. After 30 years to this very day, every time I find myself thinking about saying or doing something less than appropriate, I think of his guidance. I think of that older gentleman who never went to school and the guidance he gave me. In closing, I simply ask that the Westinghouse School for the Arts, in cooperation with the East Allegheny School District, provides similar guidance to all students who attend. Thank you very much. Bring me back to my years before college.
This project has not only been a collaborative effort of two schools, but also the effort of the community of Wilmerding, including local government as well as merchants and residents. After the charter was approved, the mayor called me and wanted to know if there was anything he could do for us. It was probably a mistake, because I have had him running for the last 3 days. Sorry, Mayor, but he truly meant what he said. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mayor of Wilmerding, the Honorable Greg Jacob.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to thank all the dignitaries, the guests, and all the residents that are here today. I know that most politicians like to talk, so I'm not going to. It's going to be short and sweet. This is one of our building blocks for this community. The castle was the first. This is the second. My goal when I took over as mayor was to bring pride back to this community, and I think this is one of the best steps we can do to incorporate that pride. So I thank all of you. Our council president, Steve Shergott, couldn't be here today. He was at a seminar, and he just asked me to pass along his words that he's grateful, interested to be partnering with the school. Thank you all.
None of us would be here today if it were not for the vision of the development team. They've done loads and loads of work to get this project started, actually probably 2 years ago, and we're here today, have reached a milestone in this project. About a year ago, I received a call from Joe and Tom asking me if I'd be interested in helping start a school. And here we are today. Part of the development group, RPA Holdings, it is my pleasure to give to you Attorney Joe Lawrence.
Thank you, Sal. Thanks for everybody for having us. The development group, RPA Holdings, that's an acronym for Rocks Performance Academy. So it's fitting that I was fortunate enough to let some of the kids talk us into playing here today, which was great, and I appreciate and thank them very much for coming and performing for us. The true vision for this school came from one of the board members from Rocks Performance Academy, Tom Barnishan, who's a Pitcairn resident, and he served on the board for the Rocks Performance Academy, and he was very committed to his community, and he came to me and he said, you know a few things about development from your work at the North Side. Can you come do something for the Turtle Creek Valley? We need a lot of real estate development or something going on here. And between he and my wife, Heidi Lawrence, who's also a board member at that organization, they came to the idea that arts would be the thing that would bring everything together. And it occurred to me that a fellow that was the first executive director of Rock's Performance Academy, a fellow by the name of Stefan Rodriguez, he said to me when I knew nothing about music or anything of the nature, you know, the one thing that brings people together across lines of politics, race, and every other division that human beings can think of is the arts, and in his particular instance it was music. And he said to me that if we could just bring people together through the arts, we could solve a whole lot of problems in the world. And with that, Rock's Performance Academy was born as a nonprofit to bring together kids that may not ever have an opportunity to get formal lessons for art of any kind. And so the purpose of that entity is to provide all kids with the opportunity who've never even touched an instrument to get up on stage and perform. In fact, some of those kids that you saw perform today had never taken a lesson in their life. They just stepped on stage and wanted to participate in the arts, and then they did. And in a short period of time, they're up there performing. And so Tom's idea and Heidi's idea that we use something to do with the arts to create a development plan for the Turtle Creek Valley became a bit obvious. So I went to my friends that taught me everything there is to know about real estate development and community development, and that's Mark Masterson and Mark Fatla, and asked them to assist in bringing some of the great things they've brought to the north side of Pittsburgh, Mark being the executive director of the Northside Leadership Conference, Mark Fatla, and Mark Masterson, the executive director of the Northside Community Development Fund. Can we bring some of those talents to bear here? We've got this idea about the arts. Can you do that? And Mark Fatla quickly came to the idea of, yes, you know, arts for all, and that if we could do a charter school, that yes, would be focused on kids that have particular excellence in their particular disciplines. We could create a space where partnerships could occur, where organizations like the Rocks Performance Academy and hopefully 20 or 30 more could use a facility as a home to bring lots of life into the valley. It began to take form, and a few years later, that was about 4 years ago, a year after that, we approached the good folks at the East Allegheny School District about building the building, and then later found we needed a charter school to make all that happen, so we found Sal and Amy. And so hopefully this is the very short story, which is the beginning of a very, very long and prosperous story for Wilmerding, for the East Allegheny School District, and for all of the kids who are interested in all kinds of arts to excel in their lives. So thank you very much, and thanks for having me.
When asked to consult on this project, there were two people I wanted at my side. All my life, I have surrounded myself with good people, and this project was not going to be an exception. So the two people that I asked to come on board immediately is Laura Humbert, who is our media expert. She's sitting right there. Laura, want to give a little wave? She's filming, so she's right there. And then our expert in education, who has put together an unbelievable educational plan, the acting principal of Westinghouse Arts Academy, Amy Heathcott.
Thanks, Sal. I feel like I need a stool. I swear I'm back here. Good morning, everybody. I am thrilled to be here as we mark the beginning of the transformation that will fill the halls of this building with students once again. Students who get out of bed every morning and can't wait to dance, to design, to dream. Students who will fill this building with music and color and life. Students who will bring a vibrant energy to this school that will overflow into this community and beyond. Westinghouse Arts Academy has been designed to be a school where this kind of student can thrive, surrounded by other students, teachers, and administrators who love the arts as much as they do. Westinghouse Arts Academy has embraced a student-centered approach to the curriculum, to the enrollment and scheduling process, and even to the design of the building. Thanks to the innovative work of some creative architects, Dan Engen and Cassandra Renninger, who's right over here, and the work of everyone at VEBH, and Heather, our designer, interior designer at VEBH Architects, our students will experience instructional spaces designed to serve diverse learning styles and needs. They saw our building as unique, in the same way that we see our students. I look forward to working with our students, the great people of the East Allegheny School District, the amazing community of Wilmerding that embraced this idea of this school, and I'm honored to begin that process by bringing the first of much new life to this community here today. Thank you.
Okay, last but not least, our most important asset, the students. We hope to attract students from all walks of life and those who cannot afford to pay for arts education. Representing the many students who will be walking through these doors for many years to come is a prospective student we have here today, Gianna D'Alessandro.
Hi, thank you. So I'm a dancer, and dance is a really big part of my life. Whenever I was in school, I could never dance as much. So I went homeschooling, but I want to meet new dancers and new people. So whenever I heard about the school, I was so excited because I can go to school, get my education, and dance as much as I can. So I'm so excited. Thank you.
Okay, I want to recognize a few other people here before we close. Bill Malloy, who's with Rome Holdings. He's been great here on the project, making sure everything's done, meeting with Amy and I, and he's just been a pleasure to work with, and he's had a big hand in this project here. Also would like to introduce Bill Preissner. He's actually a Wilmerding resident, and he's the executive director of the Northside YMCA. Bill? Jim and Dexter from the Wilmerding YMCA have been very helpful. They've given us space. They've found us space at other YMCAs to hold informational meetings. So we thank you, Bill, so much for all your help in this endeavor. We also have John Hissero here, who's a board member of the Westinghouse Arts Academy. John flew in from Florida. His arms are pretty tired, right, John? Yeah. We have our solicitors, Amalia Brett and Alan Shukro. Is Alan here?
Yeah, right here.
Oh, there's Alan. Okay. And also the contractor, Joe Golan and Nash Golan. And I want to thank them also because they were responsible for getting all this equipment here, the podium, sprucing up the area, along with the road crew here from Wilmerding, and he also put together the sign. Thank you very much, Joe. And also our new neighbor here in town, John Graff, who owns the castle here, and we're looking to do some really neat projects that he doesn't know about yet, but we'll talk, John. Thanks. Okay, so I'd also be remiss if I did not thank the following. The Rocks Performance Academy for their performance and use of their equipment. Thank you so much. The East Allegheny School District and the Nutrition Group for providing the refreshments. And we've actually partnered with Nutrition Group and East Allegheny as far as providing cafeteria services here for when we open. And I told them this morning, if this is any indication of what you're going to do here, we're in good shape. Mayor Jacob and the borough crew for getting the plants, digging the holes, and helping clean up the area. Plumline Nursery and Allegheny Petroleum for donating the plants. Joe Golan and Golan Incorporated for all the work in manicuring the grounds and providing furniture. I already did, Bill Preissner. And before I forget, I would like to ask any potential students that are here to please come up after we're done, and we'd like to take a picture with you. And I would like to thank everybody in attendance this morning and ask you to visit our website, which is westinghousearts.org. Amy and I will also stick around if there are any questions that you would like answered. And in the immortal words of Mr. Rogers, it is indeed a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Thank you very much.